Hello, welcome, it's Dr. Drredfrizzle here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the life cycle of a plant. So last time we discussed the general parts of a plant. This time I want to go into a bit more detail about how plants are fertilised and stuff. So first of all, what fertilises a plant? This is called a bee. Now I'll draw you a drawing of a wasp in my Key Stage 1 video, but a bee is slightly different. It's a bit fatter, but it is still quite similar in anatomy. This isn't a very good drawing, but you get the idea. So this bee comes along with its legs. Legs are very important because what they do is they stick to something called the anther. The anther is here in a plant. I'll draw you your flower around the anther so you know roughly where this is. So you have your flower coming around here, then you have your anther on the top of something called your filament. Now this anther and filament together are called the carpel of a plant. Now I'll finish off the features of a plant quickly. Then you have something called the stigma. The stigma is supported by a tube, quite a thick tube, known as the style. Okay? Below this there's an egg-like structure that's called the ovary, and inside it's got small ovules, okay, O-V-U-L-E-S. So basically what happens is the ovules need to get fertilised, and the ovary eventually develops into a fruit, and then down here below this you have this is basically your bud. You know I discussed before a bud. Your bud splits open, and this is what's inside it, and the flower grows out of the bud. So these leaf-like things are called sepals, and they basically form the bud together. When it's together it looks like this, and it's made up of these little leaf things, and they split apart, and when it's split open it looks like this. And below these sepals, to hold it, is still the remainder of a bud, but this is actually called now the receptacle. And what this basically does, it's a round structure that just holds the whole of this flower in place. So anyway, your bee comes along, lands on this plant with the pollen already on its feet from another plant, and that pollen travels down the style via the stigma, and then it fertilises by the process of fertilisation the ovules, and these ovules develop into seeds, and the ovary then develops into a fruit. So how are these things adapted? Well, the anthers are sticky, have a sticky substance. In the ovary, another substance is made called nectar that attracts the bees in the first place. This flower is